Okay, what's going on, man? How y'all doing? It is your boy, comedian Mo Green, and this is just something that I'm doing for self, for Dolo. This is a new podcast. I'm going back and forth as far as what I want to do, as far as the title. So it's either going to be called In the Moment or how do I say Mo? Oh, in the moment, like Mo, like me, or Mo, you mental, like monumental, but monumental. So I'm trying to go. I'm going back and forth as far as how like the title that I want to use for this. This camera is. I'm going to get a good camera for this because I can't keep playing y'all with this fuzzy look or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The light skin perspective is going to be on hold for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because the homie Canyon is doing a lot of stuff with Hollywood. So, you know what I mean? I gotta take it solo dolo or whatever. And I'll be having different guests and panelists, you know what I'm saying? Just to talk about things that's going on. And for my first show, we're gonna talk about the Ari Spears, I mean not Ari Spears, right? He's involved, but the Corey Holcomb / Zoe Williams situation. Who is at fault and if they can reconcile the situation. So I'm about to bring on my guest right now. Here we go. I'm about to record this too. I'm just letting you know it's being recorded.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The crazy part is you could call this the real reality TV because it's not scripted.
No, it's not. Now you got some cats that they will fabricate a situation or kind of exaggerate. I remember it's this big YouTuber, Dame Drops, the food review guy. You know what I'm saying? Right before he hit 1 million subs, he was pretending like he was going through some type of divorce or whatever, but he staged it. No, it seemed kind of staged, but I didn't know. So when I saw him, I was like, yo, I'm sorry you're going through that. Blah, blah. He's like, no, we just staged that or whatever. So sometimes you have that. And I was hoping this Corey, I mean, we can start right now. Whenever Kadeem hop in, he'll hop in. But I was hoping this would be like a stage situation, but nah, man, it was cutting too deep.
But I don't see how. I mean, we know Corey got money.
Yeah.
But $20,000 is a nice. That's a serious chunk of change to be forking over for one of your boys who did some stupid shit,
some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Rich or not, 20 grand will help somebody's life. I don't care. Even if you're a rich person, you could take 20 grand and flip it to 100K or something. So just to piss it away so frivolously. You know what I mean? And if you've been watching the videos, like if you watch Corey's latest joint, he was saying how the lawyer was trying to get at Zoe to get a statement, and like Zoe was ducking that shit.
Right. That's what
crazy.
Did it for me. That's what did it for me.
Yeah. Once I heard that, and Corey made a great point. When you got the like the nice soft voice, like people, and you light skin and got the eyes and shit. People, they tend to look at you as the victim. If you got the big browly voice, we looking at Corey like he bullying them. But once you break everything down and then you look at the whole situation, you was like, yo, yes, Corey probably could have handled himself differently, but how would you or myself or anybody react when your homeboy did some dumb shit and cost you 20 G's, and then on top of that, he not taking your back against a nigga that he ain't fucking with?
Right.
Or at least, I'm not saying that Zoe, it was wrong for him taking his back, but I feel like Zoe should have did that off camera though. You know what I'm saying? And he kept pushing the issue though.
But Zoe kept saying to him that Corey didn't promote or advertise his brand the way that he did RZA Islam.
RZA Islam, yeah.
And I was listening to other people's perspectives on the situation, and this one lady, she was like, yo, hold up. Zoe been around Corey for 10 years. 10 years.
That's a long time.
Y'all been doing that. Y'all ever since the Foxhole, y'all was doing that show. Zoe's not an ugly dude.
No.
He's a handsome dude. You got some intellect. How did you not use that to your advantage?
And on top of that, he was in the music industry. He was an A&R for like, I forget for who, but he was in the game.
Really?
Yeah. He was like an A&R. It's not Madonna, it's somebody, but it's like he had connections to some big time stars, man, in the 90s. But for whatever reason, it didn't pop off, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Wow. So it's like, yo, how did you by now? How did you not find your lane to where you put yourself in a position where you getting consistent gigs or making money, whatever it is, whatever it is. And to me, Corey said, yo, Corey, he made some sense when he was like, yo, just the fact that you've been around me this long, you should have been done popped off by now.
Yeah, yeah.
Why you not driving? Why
Yeah.
you and if you listen carefully, Corey kept sneak dissing, putting Holmes bit like, yo, he kept saying, I don't live up under a bitch.
Yeah.
I could talk like a man when I feel like it without fear of pissing this bitch off because I'm laid up in her house. And I was just like, whoa.
Yo, I found out how it all really started. Well, obviously, I think the initial tension between the two of them was Zoe owing the 20K and Corey like, yo, you good, you don't got to pay me. But Corey only said that because Corey know that Zoe don't got the hustle to get the money like that to give it up.
Right.
So, like sometimes, you know, somebody owe you some bread, you know, it's going to be harder for you to try to get the money from that person. So you be like, all right, we good. Just for your peace of mind. Because like, if you keep in your mind that this person owes me, that's going to make you like, you know, harbor some more tension or whatever, especially if that's your brother, someone that you really love. So sometimes it's best to wash your hands of it. But besides that, the Grady situation, I just listened to some other dude breakdown because that whole Grady video is taken down. You can't find it. I had to listen to, no, I couldn't find it. You got to listen to, I forget the dude, some other dude was breaking it down. And not even break it down, he played it, even though the audio was kind of bad. And basically, Grady was like, you know, if you're a real man, you got to do this with your wife. And because Corey was going through a divorce, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, he is.
And then Grady was like not sneak dissing, but kind of dry snitching a little bit. Yeah, but you can't be, if you want to be a real man, you can't be beating up on these chicks and doing X, Y, Z. He was saying all the things that a real man shouldn't be doing. So then Corey was like, he said, come on, man. So you mean to tell, so, you know, he was kind of like dry snitching on Corey. I'm not saying that Corey beat the bitch, but womanizing, whatever. So Corey was like, so how long you been with your girl? And Grady was like, 9 years. He said, you mean to tell me for that whole 9 years, that's the only chick you ever been with? Now, Corey is asking this question because Corey and Grady, they do comedy together. I'm not sure they tour, but they did spots together and stuff.
Right.
So basically, he did dirt with Grady. But see, Grady was trying to make himself seem like the big, you know, this big man, you know, virtuous dude. And he was talking about that's not honorable, blah, blah, blah. So when Corey put him on the spot, Grady ain't say shit. You know what I'm saying? Grady was kind of mums the word. And then all the drama and stuff like that happened behind the scenes. They was arguing with each other behind the scenes. And then both of them they shared the same barber. And like Corey apologized to Grady, was like, let's squash this shit. Let's not talk about it. Let's be whatever. But when Corey went to get his hair cut, the barber was talking to home about the shit that him and Grady supposedly squashed. So that's when Corey started, oh, you want to keep talking about the shit? So I'm about to bring this on the show and keep talking about it. So that's kind of where it all stemmed from. Now Zoe sliding in like, yeah, we know we should talk about this behind the scenes, blah, 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 whatever. Zoe was right. But at the same token, Zoe, you owe this man 20 G's. You don't, you're not really in a position to call this man out on Front Street like that, knowing that he got such a cannon on you in the background. You should play the back. If you want to, if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about the scene. Because like Zoe was like, Zoe called, you saw it. He said, "You the biggest hypocrite we know."
Right.
Especially, I gave you 20 G's. I feed you. I take you to my shows. I put you up on hotels. I do all this shit for you, and you sticking up for this bum ass, you know, from Corey's word, this bum ass nigga Grady, who I introduced you to, but he wound up being a bum. And on top of that, you call me a hypocrite. And you talking about I don't promote your stuff, and you've been on my platform for all these years. Once he broke that shit down like that, I was like, yo, I admit I was wrong because I was taking Zoe's side at first, yo.
I was taking Zoe's side at first too, and I was after I found out everything that was going on and did my research, I was like, yo, Zoe dead wrong. And then I didn't even know they ran with Tommy Sotomayor like that back in the day.
I know. I got. Listen. We're gonna go way back. The first time, I'll try to make it as quick as possible. The first time I got put on a Tommy Sotomayor, it was my homeboy. He's Italian, Nick Bellucci. You know, so you know Italians, they be kind of funny towards black people, whatever. But me and him cool. But I used to make all these controversial posts about black women and stuff. So he's like, you'll really like this guy. So he inboxed me Tommy shit. And I didn't really pay it no mind. After a couple of months, I started listening to it. I was like, yo, this nigga dope as hell. My boy, this other kid I know, this like spiritual poet dude, my boy Infinity Excalibur, he told me about Zoe Williams. So I was like, oh shit, Zoe Williams though. Like I came in contact with Zoe a little bit after Tommy. Eventually, and all these cats, they think alike. That's why they connect, because they're all similar. So Zoe eventually started working with, did some shows with Corey Holcomb. You know what I'm saying? And Corey eventually brought him around Zoe, and that's how that coalition formed. And then Tommy was doing shit with Tariq Nasheed back then. Basically, this video is on YouTube. It's on one of our old Tommy videos. Tommy had all of them together at the Struggle Mansion. He had Tariq, he had Jeff Brown, he had Zoe Williams, and Jason Black called up on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So he had this whole coalition. Like, he had all of them together. That shit was dope as hell. Later on that night, he was still doing the show, and him and Jason Black used to be like co-hosts with each other. And and then Zoe hopped on, and they was talking all three of them.
Wait, hold up. Has anybody ever seen Jason Black?
Nobody never saw him, but there's alleged pictures out there of him though. His real name is Jeremy Lloyd Smith. You know, they found his alleged rap sheet. But anyway, Zoe and Jason Black started going at it, and that's the first time I saw Zoe blow up, because like Jason Black said some shit like, "Oh man, this is getting kind of feminine," because like Zoe Williams said some spiritual shit. He said this is getting kind of feminine. And then Jason Black, that's Kadeem, that's my boy Will. That's Kadeem, Hartford, Connecticut, in the house right now. You know what I'm saying, representing.
Sure.
But you out in Dallas, right, Kadeem? Put your audio. Can you hear me, man, Kadeem?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Yeah, so you out in Dallas, right? In Texas?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. he got that. Kadeem got the fuck out of Dodge, man. That's what. When I was
Dallas, Texas is beautiful, man. I was down there like 3 weeks ago.
Oh man.
Yes, sir.
Dallas,
babe, turn down a little bit.
This dude, Kadeem, he done went to Dallas, man. He got healthy. He got a beautiful wife now, man. You know what I'm saying? He living in the flat. He doing it. He's doing it. I be envious, man. I was like, yo, I gotta step my game up and get on Kadeem level, man. Yeah. But Kadeem,
nah, man, it's all good, brother. It's good, man. What's going on, guys?
Just to catch you up, because I've probably been following these dudes I've been following these guys since like 2011 for like a long time. And at one point, like Tommy Sotomayor, Jason Black, Tariq Nasheed, Corey Holcomb, they were always friends together, and they all fragmented here and there. But I was breaking down the story of how they was all in unison at one point, and they just gradually broke off. But I don't even want to go like that. That whole of how they all were together. Just know that they all was together, and I can show you all the videos eventually. I'll give it an inboxes. But
yo, so I've been following the 5150 for a minute too, bro. Mm-hmm. Like I used to work overnight. I used to work at a gas station and shit overnight, and that was some of the things that like would get me through my shift is the 5150, and it used to be dope. Like people used to be able to call in. Yeah. They used to have topics every week. It would be like a weekly topic and shit. So it was like a whole different format in the beginning and shit.
No, the shit was dope as hell. It's like I was telling him. It's funny because I came in contact with Tommy like in 2011, like 2012, and then shortly like after that, I came in contact with Zoe Williams, and I always said to myself, "Them niggas would be dope if they came together," and eventually they did. And eventually, Tommy Sotomayor, for some reason, he connected with Corey Holcomb. You know, because all them dudes like Corey Holcomb, Tommy Sotomayor, they all think like Patrice O'Neal. If you know the comedian Patrice O'Neal, they all have that similar alpha mindset. Yeah, and even with Tariq Nasheed, because I bought like Tariq Nasheed's books, I bought a couple of his DVDs back in the days. So I always saw a similar connection. It was crazy when Tommy brought all of them together at the same time. But the problem in the black community is when you got a lot of black egos, like we all want to be Michael Jordan, man. So you know what I'm saying? Eventually, this is what's gonna happen. We like to settle our shit on Front Street, especially with the age of social media and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? We don't know how to handle stuff behind the scenes, man. You know what I'm saying? And some of us do. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Will, we got into it a couple of times, but it was never like front. People wanted to be Front Street, but we didn't let it. We was like, we had some words behind the scenes. And you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Whatever I was wrong for, whatever. And that's how you're supposed to handle it. That's why we can have this conversation now. But a lot of our brothers, man, they just don't do that, man. It's sad.
You think that's a black issue, or do you think that's like a social media type of thing?
Man, listen. Let's keep it real. Darlene was at times be the most level-headed person on that damn panel, which makes no sense to me how a woman the most level-headed person at a table with a bunch of men.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yep.
That I can't wrap my brain around that.
Yo, the thing about Darlene though, especially last night when I ain't like she got kind of snake tendencies, man.
Of course, but
especially last night,
but she know, Kadeem know. She know that's her bread and butter. If she had like a stronger source or whatever to help support her platform and shit, she know what time it is.
Yo, I low key think Corey piping it.
You think so?
Yeah, bro. Like, bro, she a puppet, bro. Like, she will do whatever. Like, because like, yo, she didn't say anything like bad about Zoe type shit last night, but I could just tell like.
You think
did you see how you saw how he was talking to her though? How fucking Corey
he was talking to her like he was a pimp and she was the bitch. Yeah,
bruh, he was talking to her crazy. Like, what woman is gonna go for that?
Hey, Will, hold on, Will, what you was gonna say though? You was about to say something about the.
You think he could talk to her like that if he was sleeping with her? Because Corey's married, right?
Yeah, he got a bad wife too. His wife is gorgeous.
They got divorced.
I don't know, because I don't think a man can talk to his side chick sideways out in public.
Yeah, usually you nicer to your side chick.
Yeah, because she could put the side chick got all your dirt. She could put you on blast. So if he was sleeping with her, I don't think he would be talking to her like that.
It is a weird plutonic connection because she's attractive, and any one of us, if we was in a space with somebody like that for that long, we're gonna try to slide the cakes or at least do something at least once.
Right.
Exactly.
Just once.
But
I'm not saying it never happened. I'm not saying it never happened, but
the thing about Darlene, go
ahead. He got her on payroll then. Yeah,
it got to be something like that. The thing about her is I hate how she comes off so innocent and virginal, like she never did no freak shit, like never in her life. It's like, yo, you was posing in a bikini on an album cover, and your man was Ice-T, one of the most notorious womanizers ever. Like, come on, you was smart.
But how old was Darlene when she did that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Touche. You can get any 17, 18-year-old girl. Yeah, okay. And I see old ass. He probably was 40 back then.
Yo, the thing about Darlene and even Craig and like Marcus and shit, like, I don't like how they just fall in line. Like, they let Corey. It's okay to tell someone like, yo, you wrong. Like, I saw it on Craig's face last night. He was looking like it was written all over his face. He was like, yo, this is fucked up.
But Kadeem, you know this. I don't know if you're still into comedy or whatever, but when you're trying to break into that industry and you got such a strong connect like that, it's hard, man. It's just like when you first start a new job and they may have a whole bunch of bullshit policies and stuff like that. You got to kind of bite the bullet a little bit until you move up until you make your own. So you got to kind of see it from a corporate standpoint. Like Craig is like, yo, I'm finally here. This compared to me, this dude's a movie star. He's an all-time great comic. So he got to kind of play. He doesn't have to play his position, but this is what I'm theorizing from his point because he's right. Because Craig seemed real. Like he seemed like if you watch his podcast and stuff like that, he don't seem like no bullshit ass nigga like at all. I don't get that vibe from him at all. But
yeah, but was Craig qualified to step in?
No,
and say anything. Because how long has Craig been around?
Yeah.
Yo, me personally,
a decade.
Mm-hmm. If I was Craig, if I was the Marcus dude, like I'd have been like, yo, I gotta sit this week off. Like, do whatever you gotta do, say whatever you gotta say. But if I'm sitting next to you, like that means I'm agreeing with you.
Yo, for them to come back like the very next week, and I was just looking at the cheesy smiles on their faces. And then, Corey with the T-shirt, like, it was funny. Still, I'll hit you back when I get it.
Okay. Let me ask y'all a question.
Uh-huh.
A grown man being petty, is that a female trait? Or is that an alpha male trait, or is that a female trait?
I'm gonna tell you like this, Will. Me and Kadeem, we comedians. This is what comics do. We roast. We instead of fighting and punching and all that, that's what comedians do. And if you know Corey Holcomb's act, what he did was lightweight compared to what he said on stage about some of these whipping. He said, I went to an abortion clinic that had pool tables in the back. He said, I want my money. He said, I want my money back in 30 minutes. So he, yo, Corey, he's known for saying this wild ass shit, right? And even you agree, Will, the $20,000 hanging over your head. I already broke it down to you. You got $20,000 that you gave this man. You fed this man. He used to give Zoe Williams cab rides to the studio. When he would do shows out of town, sometimes Zoe would go with him. He would put Zoe up in the hotels, never charge him nothing. You're doing all this stuff for Holmes. All you had to do was, if you had a problem with me, what I say with Grady, just tell me off camera. We could talk about it like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't put me on blast and call me this biggest hypocrite when I know for a fact you ducked out on a lawyer when he was looking for you about the Aries Spears situation. So
yeah.
yes. To answer your question, yes, Corey was being petty, but where did the pettiness come from?
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Yo, most comedians, they're opportunists, man.
Of course.
They're opportunists. As soon as Zoe said, "I'm gonna pay you back when I hit a lick," he should have never said that. Corey's eyes lit up.
First of all, what does hit a lick even mean? I was confused at that. What does it mean?
It just means you're gonna come across some money. That's all. In the East Coast in New York, that means like you're gonna rob somebody or some shit. But that's not what he meant. Like you say, like whether he gambling some money or he gets some type of deal with one of his books, he was just using slang, but it was the improper. He didn't have to use slang in that situation. He should have said, "I'll pay you back when I can." That's what he should have said.
Right.
Exactly.
Because how old is Zoe?
Zoe is born in
late 40s.
Yeah, he's born in 1971. He's 48.
48.
Yeah.
Damn near 50, bro.
Going on 49. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, you can't call yourself the intellectual and you using terms like when I hit a lick. So that's
that's like the duality. If you watch enough of Zoe, because I watch a lot of Zoe, he has a smart side and he has like the street. He got a little bit of both. He really does.
Well, but see, here's the thing. Craig said watching them argue was like watching Red Fox and Malcolm X argue.
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm X, as we all know, he was a gangster. He was out there doing gangster stuff. Then he found Islam and turned his life around.
Mm-hmm.
When he became Malcolm X, ain't no way in the world he gonna walk out on the stage and be like, "Yo, ladies and gentlemen, when I hit a lick, I got y'all."
Right. I think that was just. You know how you ever sit here like real intelligent dudes try to use slang and they use it in the wrong moments. You know what I'm saying? I think it was just one of them situations. He was just trying to be too cool. Because if you watch a lot of Zoe, he do it a lot. If you watch a lot of Zoe, a lot of times he does a Corey impression when he's talking. What you trying to say to these bitches? They gonna give me the draws. When Zoe was doing that, Zoe is doing a Corey impression. So that's all. He was just trying to be hood or whatever, and it just came out the wrong way. But it's too bad because
I knew it when he said that shit. When I was watching the first show, I saw Corey's eyes light up. I saw his eyes light up, bro. He was like, "When you hit a lick," he should have never said that shit. And when I saw the T-shirt, I was like, "Oh, fuck."
No,
but
you are
nigga.
Man, listen, man.
He got rid of the I don't like your daughter, bitch. He changed up the whole lyrics. It was like a diss track towards Zoe. And then at the end of the song, I told you he knew some shit. Like he did something.
And then he sold out of those T-shirts. Those T-shirts.
Oh, he did?
Yep. He put them on the website.
Man.
CoreyHolcomb.com.
Now
and they sold out and shit. So.
From what I gathered from Will and from Kadeem, from just a private conversation with both of you guys, I think we're all in agreement that Zoe's in the wrong in this situation. Like, or put it as not in the wrong. The better word is Zoe brought all this shit on himself. Do we agree on that? The totality.
Yeah, man, if you chilling around a damn wolf, you gotta know you hanging with a wolf, you know?
I think they was both right and they was both wrong. Because I don't know the Grady dude.
Mm-hmm.
But Zoe was I agree with what Zoe was saying, like, dude, I understand you got an issue with Grady, but let's handle this behind closed doors. Don't put it out there. And even Darlene agreed with that. Like, yo, why you putting this dude on blast? And then if me and you boys, and we both got wives, and we both going out here doing our thing with chicks on the side, That ain't something we gonna talk about on the air.
But see, this is the thing though. You didn't hear the original conversation when Grady and Corey was going at it. Like I told you, I literally just heard that Grady was boosting himself up, trying to make him seem like a greater man, and he was kind of dry snitching on Corey. Grady started that shit. If you listen to, he was talking about, if you got to treat a woman like this. You can't be stepping out on these women and blah, blah, blah. And a real man go do X, Y, Z. And a real man go do that. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of like,
he was slick jabbing Corey.
Yes. And I didn't notice. I did not notice till like 30 minutes ago. And when I listened to that, I was like, oh shit. So that's why Corey was like, hold up. How long you been with your wife? And then Grady was like 9 years. He's like, man, you mean to tell me these whole 9 years you ain't getting no pussy from none of these bitches? Cause Corey know they probably got pussy, from bitches together. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
exactly.
He was making Corey feel small. You know what I'm saying? So Corey just flipped it back on him, on some indirect shit. But I also heard that Grady said to Corey, and I think this is off camera, he was like, I went to school with a nigga that's raising your son.
Yeah.
Grady said that shit too. And then Grady, I'm a gangbang. I'm a gangster disciple, man. You know who dealing with? Like Grady was on that type of shit off camera. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But this was off camera. And Corey still tried to apologize. He still tried to settle it. But when Corey went to that barber, and they both shared the same barber, the barber was talking to Corey about some shit that Grady told him when Corey thought it was squash. So that's why Corey started talking about the shit again. So it's like,
the thing about it though.
Go ahead.
So hold on. One big thing and shit that I'm like starting to realize, like, in a lot of these issues, a lot of these problems, Corey is the common denominator. At some point, you gotta look at it like, yo, you fall out with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, what role? He doesn't ever take no accountability. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I can't respect about it.
He did say, I'll tell you this though. He did say, I'll be watching all this shit. He did say, I should have never involved him in me when I say we be fucking these bitches and stuff. I should have never did that. Because I'm thinking that most of these guys think like me and they can talk freely about their stuff. So he took the blame in that aspect, but I see what you're saying though, Kadeem. I see what you're saying. But he the golden calf though.
That, like,
go ahead.
Right, true. He's the start of shit. But on top of that, it's like, yo, people used to. So I used to watch the show because every week they would have like a topic. A lot of shit was like relationship shit,
right? Or
it would just be like real nigga shit. They would bring in Rizza Islam and shit.
Yeah.
So it would be like I'm getting knowledge there.
Yeah.
As of late, it's him going in on Grady. You know what I'm saying? They talk about all this gay shit that's happening in Hollywood.
Corey talk about gay. I thought I made a lot of gay jokes. That dude talk about gay stuff forever.
Forever, bro. And then like, if Zoe isn't there, it seems like they just be shooting the shit. There's no structure to the show anymore.
He brought the intelligence and the intellectual direction, and Corey brought the hood shit. That's why we loved it, because it was a perfect Batman Robin yin and yang type situation.
Yin and yang type of
but
shit.
Even though,
like when Zoe was like, yo, let's do this shit behind the scenes, like going in on Grady, all this shit. Like, why can't we just do this shit behind the scenes?
But see, here, this
like, yo, Corey's reaction to Zoe saying anything, I didn't like that shit.
But I'm gonna tell you why, Kadeem.
The first thing this nigga said was, "I'm not Aries Spears." And I'm
gonna tell you why. Zoe's calling him a hypocrite, right? Zoe saying, let's do this behind the scenes. First of all, on Front Street, Zoe said you're one of the biggest hypocrites I know. So you say some shit behind the scenes, but that's some wild shit to say to your boy that's been holding you down. And then B, you saying handle shit behind the scenes, but yet you had a fight on camera in his studio. So it's like you can say all that stuff that you want, but your actions don't really coincide with like how, you know what I'm saying, don't coincide with what you telling me to do. You know what I mean? And it just hit that hypocrite shit. Was the fever pitch.
The crazy thing when it comes to us as black men, we always a lot of us always let our ego and our pride get the best of us.
Yeah.
Because if there was breaks in between when they had Aries Spears on there, and Aries Spears was drunk and talking reckless and talking crazy, first commercial break, I would have went to Corey like, yo, what we gonna do about this? Because if this gonna continue to go on, I'm a step for the day.
Now, Zoe claims that he did that. He was like, in between breaks, he was trying to talk to Aries to calm down. But I think he talked to Aries when, like you said, he should have talked to Corey. Like, yo, Corey, get your mans. Your mans is bugging. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or Zoe should have just left.
Yeah, that's probably what I would have did. Before this goes any further, I'm a skate for the day, bro.
Now, yo, I'm using the free version of Zoom, so if this conk out, I got a whole nother show that's about to start like in 5 minutes. So if it conk out, I'm gonna just give y'all the invite, bring y'all right back in. All right. But yeah, no, you're right. Like Corey could have been a lot more assertive in that situation to where it didn't get to that point. He should have saw, like, as a comedian, we could like look at the audience and know like kind of what's going on. He should have used those skills and know like this cat, this situation is getting real volatile. Let me just either end it or tell Zoe to go or tell Aries to go or whatever. Could have saved him $20,000. Could have saved.
Yo, you take a show like The View where you got all these different women that got different beliefs, different philosophies, and they be there arguing, yelling at each other, but they don't go to fisticuffs.
Nah.
And it's like, yo, how is it that you can have a panel of women that can show more restraint and more resolve and be more emotionally reserved than men?
And just
be men.
No, go ahead, Kareem. Go ahead, Kadeem.
That's the problem with Zoe, though.
Yeah, I was about to say
that. An anger problem, bro. Cause like, yo, he went there with Freeze too.
He went there with Freeze and Jason Black years ago. Yep, he did.
Like he did, and it all stems to me from what I'm seeing from Zoe. It all stems from like he can't really move like how these other cats are moving. Like Corey is never gonna fall off. He has a cult following. Like he could go to freaking Arkansas. He can go to these shows down south, Dallas, Atlanta, and he could sell out. He's always going to until the end of time. He has that.
The hood love Corey.
Exactly.
Man, I got some hood cousins that swear up and down he the best comedian out here.
Yeah. Oh, they love him.
Everybody.
He's one of my when I started comedy, man, it was like Patrice O'Neal and Corey Holcomb and like Hannibal Buress. Like it was like them three. Like Corey was one of my first comics that I really, really, really liked, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. He definitely got it. But you know what? Don't get it twisted. Zoe got a following too. They put up money for Zoe got like 60,000 followers on his YouTube, man. If his following really, really rock with homes like that, they all need to put up $1 and he'll have enough money to pay Corey Holcomb 3 times. Just $1.
Honestly, I don't think Zoe has found his lane yet, which is crazy to me. Like I told you earlier, Mo. This ain't on no homo shit.
Yeah.
Zoe is a handsome man. He got ladies around. So he could have been on some Steve Harvey shit or I'm about to do some relationship books, give some relationship advice, and made a ton of money doing that bullshit.
Yo, like a lot of people, they speculate if he does drugs. And Zoe's on my friends list, so I ain't going to bash Joe or nothing like that. But could be a sexaholic. He could just be all about the buns and that's all he care about. Just smash. If you just enamored or obsessed with just smashing chicks, man, that really stifles your growth and anything else. And that
don't just stifle your growth. That stifles your fucking money too.
Your money, yeah. And you
that cat.
You basically living for a nut. You just living just to survive. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You can't take a month off of trying to smash hoes. Take a month off. No, I need to get buns every other day or whatever.
That's crazy.
When you chase some hoes, man, we all know that shit take a lot of energy, mental resources. I'm not saying that's his case. I'm not saying that his case, but we know he don't drink. He doesn't seem like a drug addict. So that's the only other thing I could think of. It's the buns. You know what I'm saying?
He might just not have, like you said, some motherfuckers be. You ever just meet just a smart dumb nigga? You know, like this nigga could read you back a book verbatim and shit, but he just don't got it. And a lot of people, they feel like, okay, I'm well read and I read all these books and I know all this shit.
Nah, you have to put that knowledge to use, yo.
And you still gotta have some type of hustle about you.
But just because you have intelligence doesn't translate to money. Like I tell people all the time, people always say I'm an intelligent person. I'm not saying I'm super broke, but it's like, yo, I'm intelligent, but why the fuck I ain't rich? So I know that intelligence is not the only thing that's involved with being like a wealthy person. You think, does Cardi B look intelligent? Does Offset come off as an intelligent person? Kodak Black? All these people, they dumb as nails, but they got the hustle, they got that drive. You know what I'm saying? They'll get up, they'll get into the studio, they'll put their art out.
Look at Kim Kardashian. She ain't the baddest bitch out here.
Yeah.
This bitch made a sex tape with Ray J and turned that shit into a major bag.
Major bag.
Okay.
She got it to the point. She the reason why all these chicks do OnlyFans nowadays.
Hello.
Yeah, that's the way to get started.
Let me I'm gonna start the other one up, and I'm gonna bring y'all in because this one's gonna end in a second. But this is juicy though. All right. So I'm gonna leave it, and I'm gonna share it with you right now. But the thing is, it's easy to get on your shit. Hold on. It's easy to get on your shit right now. Hold up. Oh yeah, there you go. My bad. It's easy to get on your shit because it's fucking the pandemic, so they don't got no choice but to do this shit. You feel me?
I watch $1 million worth of Game with Gilly and Wallow.
Yeah,
to me, that's the best podcast out right now. Mm-hmm. Like they have everybody from fucking Deion Sanders to Shaq.
I gotta watch it more.
Everybody goes on there. Yo,
I gotta watch it more. Gilly funny, and I love when him and Wallow go at it. That shit is funny as hell, man. Them dudes be fighting. Hilarious, yo. They don't really be fighting, but they be tussling all the time.
And it's like they real niggas, and it's just like the hood is watching. That's what they understand. Like the hood is watching. And that's the same thing with Corey. It's like the hood, and really the motherfuckers who move the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like the motherfuckers who out here dressing and it's like, so the people who are in the know is watching your shit, nigga. But it's just like, if you're not gonna be coming with, like, to me, honestly, I feel like Darlene could have been left the show. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you getting up there in age, like, get you a nice young hot.
I'm gonna tell you like this,
young hot Instagram bitches.
How many women would be willing to put up with Corey, the type of shit he be saying constantly about women?
Zero.
So she's one of the few people that can tolerate that shit. You understand? So that's why she's, you know, she right where she need to be. Like not to put it down, but you know, she a bottom bitch. You know what I'm saying? The bottom bitch gonna be your main joint. At the bottom, she gonna be with you to the end. But what I was saying before we had
you gotta be a woman with a low self-esteem.
Say it again.
You gotta be a woman with low self-esteem to put up with fucking Corey bullshit.
Yeah, man.
I agree with what you say.
It's her bread and butter. It's her job. So you know what I mean? It is what it is, bro. But what I was saying was, as far as you being just because a person is intelligent doesn't mean it translates to money. Some of the smartest motherfuckers I ever meet is homeless motherfuckers. Like at Stop and Shop, the bums with no teeth, they're super intelligent, but they use their intelligence to get like crack and figure out ways to not work and just please themselves. So yes, intelligence is important, but honestly, I wish I had more drive and more hustle than I had smarts. I'll take away half of my smarts if I could double up my hustle for me personally. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm 41. Like you figure Zoe's on the show for 10 years. You know, he was doing the shit since he's 38, 39. I gotta get my life in order. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do better too. I don't got no kids and nothing like that, so that gives me an advantage. But it's like I look at him as a cautionary tale, and I don't want to be 48 and 49. At least have all my own shit collectively. You know what I'm saying? And not relying on, you can't be like 48, 49, 50 and just relying on like another grown man to succeed. You know what I mean? If anything, try to make a business out of it and let's be a team. But to be so reliant, nah, I can't do that. You can't be giving me rides and feed me all the time, man. Like, nah, man. Yeah. I gotta pay for a meal every night. And it's no disrespect to Zoe. I'm just saying what's put out there. And as a man, you should want to be beyond that. You know what I mean? And like when Tommy Sotomayor was cool with him, like you said, Tommy dropped Zoe off, fed his daughter, and all kinds of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? And then wound up falling out with him. It's just like, but if you had all your shit in order, Tommy wouldn't even have that kind of ammunition because he couldn't say you fed him and you gave him a ride and shit, because you had your own shit. So it's beneficial to have your own stuff so niggas can't throw it in your face. That's why if he would have paid up 20 grand, this wouldn't be an issue. You feel me? If he would have never had the stupid fight, he would have never had to pay the 20 grand, at least not for this situation. So like ultimately, man, I say like Corey has his faults and what have you, but all Zoe had to do was just walk away, and none of this shit would be an issue right now. Maybe it'd be something else, but it wouldn't be this. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
How do you think, you know what? Because we done harped on it enough, though. How do you think they can fix this situation, man? I ain't hear from Will in a second, so I'll start with you, Will. How can they repair? Or put it this way, is it repairable? Can they mend this? Because this shit's crazy. Shit had me sad watching this shit. Like there's like two of my brothers banging out. So can this be repaired?
I would say for me to not get past something, you gotta hurt one of my kids.
Okay.
For me to not get past something. I think, because I hear different people saying Zoe can't go back there because that'll make him less of a man and yada, 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 yada. But let me ask y'all this. Did y'all watch the documentary on Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
On how he used to talk to his teammates and how he used to pretty much just degrade the shit out of just to the point where what was the story with him and Horace Grant when they was on the airplane and the stewardess brought the food and Mike was like, yo, he don't get to eat because he played like shit tonight.
Damn.
Yo, that right there can set some shit off. And dude still showed up to work, still played basketball, still yada, 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 yada. Like, yo, this is my job, yada, yada, yada. But I think they could get past this because this is more so of a reflection on Corey. Because Corey brought it out in the public. Zoe didn't.
Yeah. This is true. He did put the 20K on blast. He did. None of us knew that shit.
Nobody knew that.
I was like, whoa, that once he said that, didn't that like paint the whole shit a little different? He's like, damn, that's 20 racks.
Zoe said some real shit to Corey when he was like, yo, you should have took control. You should have took better control of that show.
Facts. Definitely.
Put this motherfucker Aries Spears in check.
This is your house. Yeah.
Yeah, it's your house.
Yeah.
You can't check somebody in your house. That is your house.
But when Zoe said, he said, I told you I was going to pay you the 20K. And you said, nah, don't worry about it. I'm going to tell you like this, man. When it comes to that type of money, there is no such thing as don't worry about it. Even if your homeboy say it, that's $20,000. Niggas get killed over $100.
Right. Yeah.
Let alone 20 racks. So for Zoe to say that and he actually believed that, that's a cop-out, man. Come on, man. You supposed to be like, I'm going to pay you $100 a month for whatever, just making it. It's been almost like 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Put a dent in it. Like, you know what? You know, Zoe don't got it like that, but every month he give me $100. Like he's still making an attempt. I know his money fucked up, but he's making an attempt. For him, because that's your boy. Because if that's your man's, even if he say no, you still should be putting shit to the side because that's your man's. And because you the one that fought. Now, go ahead. What you going to say, Will?
But I also understand where Corey was coming from because he said Aries Spears is a bitch. And he said to Zoe, you wouldn't have elbowed just anybody like that.
Now I think
you did that to somebody that you thought and felt wouldn't do nothing back to you. That's why you did it.
Now, when he was doing that, I think I understand why Corey did that, but I don't think that was necessary. Though. You don't challenge your homeboy like that, you know. He said, yo, you don't want to do that to me. Listen, I'm not Aries Spears. He said, oh, so when you get mad, you throw them elbows, you mad right now? And Zoe was like, no, I'm not mad. Zoe was mad as fuck, though. But because Zoe was like,
I've never seen a dude in my life square up on another man and throw elbows. That shit caught me off guard. Like, wait. Like, you know, we seen dudes get mad and start throwing punches and shit. But the elbow, I'm like, what is this nigga practicing Muay Thai or some shit?
Yo, that whole situation is like ridiculous. That's why I started laughing. Like,
yo, the wild shit.
Spears shit was,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, just in general, like while we're even here, all this shit stems from that Aries shit. Really, Zoe and Corey might have some underlying.
Yo, 20 grand is in the air. I don't care how tight.
Top of that,
but let's keep it all the way 100. Aries Spears is a bitch for suing Corey. Yeah, yo, you was talking reckless. You was talking reckless.
Aries is an entertainer though. He's suing him for defamation of character. Because what Aries is claiming, I can't book shows now because like you fucking my money up. Like I'm on air, I'm getting clowned on social media.
Wait,
like,
so
and that's a real thing.
He didn't sue for Zoe attacking him. Is what you
said? I don't know.
Nah, it wasn't assault. So when he got on TMZ and shit, he was like, "Yo," because that's what entertainers do. That's what entertainers do. If you fuck up my money, my show money, if you are about to make a joke of me, you know what I'm saying? Or you fucking up my bread, so I gotta get at you. And that's what Aries was saying from the jump. Like he's like Corey knows he fucked up, and you can't really imagine somebody went up to the Breakfast Club and Charlamagne beat somebody's ass. You feel me?
So you telling
it'd be the same type of situation.
Hold up. So you telling me that Aries Spears couldn't get gigs because of Corey Holcomb talking shit?
He said it. No, yo, Aries straight up said that he was he had some shit lined up with HBO or some shit. And he said he heard through the grapevine, like one of the executives was like, oh no, he had that situation with Corey Holcomb, blah blah. Nah, let's not fuck with Holmes. Like he did say that happened.
Yeah, well. Was it because of also how Aries Spears was acting on that show?
Could have been.
Yeah, we know that. We know that. You know, but they not watching the whole show. So most of the people who saw that clip, they saw that shit on World Star.
Yeah,
of him getting elbowed and shit. Like, they didn't see that whole episode and shit. They don't even know
Muay Thai.
They don't know what the fuck is going on. All they know is like, oh, look at messy ass Aries Spears and some more bullshit type shit.
Yeah.
And so that could be detrimental.
Let's just keep it a buck. Them white folks in Hollywood probably looked at that and said, yo, you want some nigga shit.
Yeah,
and we don't want to be around no niggas.
We can't trust you in shooting and filming. You might fight.
Right.
And honestly, Aries has had different arguments on the radio. There's him on record of arguing with some radio dude. He leaves the show. He hears the dude on the radio talking shit. So he turns his car around, goes back and talks to. So Aries has had the reputation of verbally going at it, but never fisticuffs. But he hasn't had the greatest reputation either. You know what I'm saying? As far as how he interacts with people. So all the motherfuckers is twisted. And I think they all entertainers, man. I don't never take none of them niggas that serious, yo, or get too emotionally invested. Because it's all for the views. That's why we're talking about this shit right now. We capitalizing right now.
But we all know that a black man has to play by a different set of rules.
Oh yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna deal with a belligerent black man.
Thanks.
We saw look, a prime example was Dame Dash.
Oh yeah.
Dame Dash was at one time was on the top of the motherfucking mountain when he was running Rockefeller Records. How much is Dame Dash worth right now?
Yep.
He blackballed himself, you know.
Blackballed himself. People don't even want to work with him like that. Not to the magnitude of 20 years ago. So yeah. Now you're absolutely right. So you answered the question. You said it could be handled. I mean, they could reconcile it or whatever. And what do you think, Kadeem? Do you think they can like kind of mend their relationship or whatever, or you think it's possible?
I mean, like you said, man. When you said it's a cautionary tale, that shit really, you know, resonates with me and shit. Because like, yo, I've had to cut off homies, man, that I thought we was A1 since day one type shit. Feel me? Like solid and shit like that. But it's just like, yo, I'm going this way and you're going that way. My nigga.
You done left the state. You just one day I just woke up. This nigga was geotagging himself in Houston. I was like, what the fuck? Yo, I said, you move? That's how you do it too. You ain't telling nobody. And then after that, he got like beautiful wife quick. He ain't even take no time, Will. 2 months in, he was wifed up. 2 months in.
But the thing about it, bro, so like if I would have stayed in Connecticut, bro, and then okay, here. So like a lot of people I was chilling with, hanging around, whatever, doing shit with. A lot of niggas is doing the same shit, bro, that they was doing 10 years ago. That they was on talking about the same shit, messing with the same chicks, like that they was doing 10 years ago. And I got tired of that. I got tired of the monotony. Like Connecticut is too small, man. Like I was just like, yo, I need something different. So like, I had to just literally like, get out of that.
You just jumped in the fire, man. I'm on my goal is to go to Atlanta by the summertime. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on it too, man. Yeah.
And yo, sometimes a change of scenery is like, it's weird. It's like sometimes that's all you need, man.
Yeah.
To just like get on your shit. So like,
especially
like with that whole.
Go ahead. When you cut off your support system and it's just you out there dolo, I feel like that lights a fire under you. It's like when you buy your first car. When you get your first car, whatever, he's like, oh shit, I gotta work more because I gotta pay this gas, I gotta do XYZ, I gotta keep the maintenance up. So sometimes you gotta put yourself in a situation where you cut yourself off from all the comfort to hustle harder. So yeah.
It's time to man up. That's how it is with Zoe. Like friendships are like that too, man. Yeah. We're just like, yo, this friendship is kind of run its course. And that's what I see with Zoe. It's like, bro, y'all can still be cordial. I mean, you can come on the show every now and then, kind of like Freeze does. Because Freeze and Corey got into it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of never the same. Like Corey was calling Freeze's cousin a bitch, and he didn't know it was Freeze's cousin. You remember that episode?
No, I didn't see that one. No, I ain't seen that one.
It was some woman who wrote a book or something, and she was on Zoe's show. And Zoe and Freeze are like tight or whatever.
Yeah.
And so Corey was like, "Oh, that bitch that Zoe brought on his show, doctor, whatever. She's like a doctor and shit too." And then Freeze was like, "What makes her a bitch?" Freeze was like, "What makes her a bitch?" And then Corey was like, "Well, I don't really know the bitch, but." And then Freeze, Freeze got serious. Freeze was like, he's like, exactly. He's like, don't finish saying whatever you're about to say. He's like, because that's my real life cousin. He's like, and I'll beat your ass.
Really? Oh, I gotta see this now. Shit.
Bro.
Like a thought. I gotta see this shit. I gotta see it.
Yeah. Corey said, my bad. I'm sorry, apologize, all that shit. And they moved on from it, but Freeze never really came back.
It was never the same.
It wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Because he's like, yo, this nigga will say anything. Like this nigga he don't got no filter.
Right.
Yeah. And that's his style of who he is. Jeff Brown actually did a video about it earlier, and he said the problem with Corey is he has two different suits. He got the regular Spider-Man suit, and he got the Venom suit. And he was like the Venom suit, like all the crazy stuff that he say on stage in comic, that's what got him famous. But he doesn't know how to turn off that Venom suit and be Spider-Man. Sometimes the Venom like spills over into like his regular life and shit. You know what I mean? Like with the crazy stuff he be saying or whatever. But
right.
Well, I think it could be repaired if Zoe ever went back on the show and they hashed it out. I don't think Zoe would be a lesser man or anything like that. But I wouldn't blame Zoe if he didn't do it because. Well, put it this way. Beforehand, I thought like if Corey would apologize, whatever, he'd be straight. But once Corey made the T-shirt and did the song, and he still was calling Zoe a bitch ass nigga a couple times. But Corey just curses in general. That bitch ass nigga. I don't think he means it when he says stuff like that. That's just a part of his vernacular. But he kind of doubled down on that shit. I think there ain't gonna be no violence, nothing like that. But the friendship, just like with Freeze, the friendship, it'll never be the same. But
here's my thing. For Marcus and Craig, if I was one of them dudes, I'm gonna be looking at Corey like, wait a minute. You've been this dude's road dog way longer than you've known me. And I just watched you have a falling out with him in front of the world. I don't know if I could trust you. I would have my guard up.
The only thing I think that would probably save those two cats is Corey may respect them more because he feels like they have more hustle. Like even when the whole Tommy Sotomayor and the Zoe Williams shit popped off, whatever, the first thing Corey did was compliment Tommy and say, listen, Tommy car got stolen and he bought another one cash that same day. I respect that hustle, my nigga. Before he even stuck, and then eventually he stuck up for Zoe. So Corey likes that hustle spirit, you know what I mean? And that's why Corey was calling Zoe the weakest link, because I think that's what a lot of it had to do with. Like Zoe just he lacks the hustle spirit, and Corey don't respect that shit. So he probably sees more hustle in Craig and Marcus. You know what I mean?
But if that's the case, then why'd you keep him around you for 10 years?
Because he owed him. Well, I'm gonna tell you, 10 years, yes, but for the last 3-4 years, right? This man owes you $20,000. You say it's cool, but in the back of your mind, I want that motherfucking bread. So let me still keep him around. So hopefully I'll get that shit. Because I feel like if the money was settled way back then, Corey probably would have been done with this nigga, man. A big ass debt like that will keep the nigga around you. Or you'll keep a nigga around. If you owe you that type of money, you're gonna keep tabs on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I see it. You know what I mean? And that's not shit on Zoe. He's intelligent. He does bring something good to the show. As far as his perspective, as far as his knowledge, he does. He ain't no bum out there, so he's definitely useful. You know what I mean? So, and then Corey straight up said, I don't fuck with niggas like you. I just keep you around because you smart. When he said that shit, I was like, damn.
That hurt. That stung right there.
That's like telling a chick, I don't even like you, man. You just got a big booty. That's the only, like, dang, he objectified him. Go ahead, Kadeem.
Fucking, yeah, but like, there's motherfuckers that are like that. They keep people around them just because they're weaker than them. They make more money than them.
They don't say that.
They can little bro them. You feel me? I don't fuck with people like that.
Nah, yeah.
But
somebody trying to sue me. He said it though on a platform in front of thousands of people.
That's why there's no coming back, man.
Okay.
If I could see if Corey offers some type of olive branch and they like, yo, this is gonna be like some type of reunion show or whatever. We're gonna bring back Bobby, we're gonna bring back Zoe, whatever.
Like the real shit. Like the original Aunt Viv and that Will Smith shit.
Exactly.
20 years later.
But for now, I could never respect Zoe. Yeah, like if Zoe, this nigga made a whole T-shirt, bro.
And a rap song.
Venom. Like
but
that's not no friend, man.
Go ahead, Will. Yo,
he put, of all characters he could have put on a T-shirt, he put Goofy.
And Goofy, that's Chicago slang for offie. We all know what offie mean out here in Hartford. It's the same shit.
He had the fucking hat on, and he been clowning the nigga for not taking his hat off.
I didn't even peep that hat. That shit was detailed as fuck.
Hat on, bro. This nigga went too.
I'm gonna hit you back when I get a lick. He made a diss record. You gotta respect that hustle. Like Corey took some. Like I thought. I'm not saying it was over for Corey, but I was thinking to myself, how can this? We always thinking this shit. How can he come back from this shit? Because we didn't know all the information. But once
Tommy pointed some shit out though. He said, Corey's, I guess, channel jumped from 4K to 10K.
Yeah, the views. Yeah. The live stream.
12,000 people in there last night
watching.
People like drama, man. Bullshit. Jerry Springer.
Drama and bullshit.
They both have great followings, and nobody really saw it coming. If you knew the whole backstory, though, you could see it coming. I knew they were diametrically opposed as far as like their views and stuff like that, how they talk about women and stuff. But I thought it always worked. It was dope because you don't want to just have a panel where everybody just totally agree with each other. You know what I'm saying? Even though we all kind of agreeing.
That shit gets boring fast.
But we all have our different perspectives, and we all disagreed on some stuff on here. So this is a good program that we're doing right now. But to have everybody on the same, that shit is boring as shit. So that's what was dope about those niggas. But man, whoo.
That shit, their friendship ran their course. And I saw this shit coming, man.
Yeah.
I saw this shit coming, because he went he got rid of Bobby. He got rid Freeze had to listen to himself. And it was like kind of like Corey and Darlene. They're the last two like holding on, but he gonna get into it with Darlene next. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be a couple months from now.
He started with it, and she was like low key fucking with him. Like he was talking about his products, and then she started giggling offside, like on some, you know, what I'm saying, throwing shade. And then he just got, like, listen, man. Every time you promote your stuff, I don't say nothing. I promote my shit. You laughing and stuff, man. Fuck out of here, man. Like he just, I was like, damn, that shit was uncomfortable. So he tried to be a Captain Saver. So and that's another thing. When you see a man and a woman, he not beating her up, but they going at it like that. Zoe was supposed to he was supposed to just back off and let them do what they do. Right. See, that's another thing. A lot of times when you always try to interject, you playing Captain Saver and trying to get in between shit, you wind up becoming collateral damage, man. You wind up getting hit with the friendly fire. Or you become the target.
Right. Yeah, that's like when somebody try and break up a domestic situation, then both parties attack your ass. Fuck all that.
That's a perfect analogy, because if you watch the later look, they was all low key laughing at Zoe. That shit was it was funny, but it was like sad. I was like, damn. Now I'm looking at Zoe Facebook and his YouTube. I don't know the way he could come back from this shit. Is not even talk about it no more. Just talk about your books. Talk about relationship. Don't even go, even though it's gonna be niggas that's trolling. Like, Will, you gonna get in it. You be trolling sometimes. I be seeing you in the you gonna say some shit like, yo, what's up with Corey, man? Like, you can't go back on that show, whatever. So you gonna have that, but he just gotta ignore that shit and just go back to what was working, because this whole tough guy going back and forth, and you're not going to win a war, like a roasting battle, with a professional comedian. I don't care how smart you are. That shit is not going to happen, though. You're not going to win that battle, though. You're not. He going to say some grimy shit, some funny ass shit. The people going to be laughing at you. Zoe can't win that. But as far as just raw intellect, yeah, logic, he got that. But just gutter and just being funny and shit. And Zoe's
listen, there's only one way Zoe can win this.
Hey, kill that nigga.
There's only one way Zoe can win this. And that's to get successful.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's the only way.
Success is the biggest revenge, man.
Yo, if he's smart, he needs to reach out to the people who don't fuck with Corey. You need to reach out to the Tommies. You need to reach out to the Aries, all them motherfuckers, and just be like, yo.
Yeah.
Really what Zoe is good at, he's good at, like, interviewing people. So I don't understand. Like, nigga, you need to be a nigga that's like
a Tavis Smiley or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your lane, nigga.
Better yet,
Steve Harvey.
How about he could be a fucking Roland Martin.
Yeah.
Yo, exactly. Roland Martin went from CNN to TV One to now he got his own fucking YouTube and got tons of fucking followers and still get major people. Roland Martin still gets major people to come on his platform and talk to him.
Yep, exactly. I see the same shit with Zoe. Like, honestly, Zoe and Corey.
Zoe, what are you doing?
Yo, Zoe and Corey, their personalities don't even line up. You got Corey who's calling motherfuckers faggots and bitches and hoes and everything in the fucking dictionary. Like, Zoe, you a classy motherfucker. You got on a motherfucking Kangol hat with the matching glasses and shit and the matching suit and shit.
Sport coat and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, nigga, like that's not your vibe. Like, you need to distance yourself from all that shit. Like, you gotta be like, you know what? I was on a low vibration.
That was his that was his street cred though. You feel me? That was his street cred.
Well, hold up. Let me ask y'all this. Did y'all watch that movie One Night in Miami?
Nah, I never saw that. Nah.
Make sure y'all watch that movie.
Okay.
It's on Amazon Prime. And check it out. You got Malcolm X.
Oh yeah, I heard about it. Yep.
Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, and Sam Cooke all hanging out with each other in the hotel room for the whole night. Now, when you talk about opposites attracting, the fact that these dudes was hanging out with Malcolm X, the most pro-black motherfucker in America at the time, the most militant pro-black motherfucker in America at the time, these dudes is hanging out with his ass. So
yeah, I need to watch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Matter of fact,
that's yin and yang coming together, because it's a scene in the movie, and they like, yo, Jim. They said to Jim Brown, they was like, yo, could you ever become a Muslim? That motherfucker said, man, I like white women and ribs too much.
I heard that quote before.
Like, yo, I can't. He said, I'm down for the cause. I'm gonna fight for my people, but I ain't giving up white women and ribs.
Oh shit!
So it's yo, and let me tell you something, though. Mm-hmm. One black man that don't get they credit is that man Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke was a fucking G. That dude was on top of his. He had the first black-owned publishing, writing. He had his own shit. his own. That's why he was a threat.
Yeah, I just watched his bio the other day. Yeah, they said they set him up. There's a
that's what I heard. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, I heard that too.
There's another documentary on Netflix called "The Two Deaths of Sam Cooke" that y'all gotta watch and check out.
Okay, I'll check that out.
I don't want to say. Let me spell it out. The JEW.
You said it. You said it, the orange juices. The orange juices. The juices.
Yeah, they did not like. Yeah, they did not like Sam Cooke because he was about his shit, and they could not control him or own him, which is why they went after him. Period.
All right. You said this way. This going to end it. So we got what 10 more minutes. It's telling me it's wrapping it up. I think we had a real great discussion, man. I think this was just a black guy in the black community, man. Like, I'm just tired of seeing so many like strong, influential brothers that are a great example to the youth, to our black youth, just be at odds with each other. And if we learn anything about the situation, obviously, one, always try to pay your debts with your peoples. That's automatic. You know what I'm saying? Respect your homeboys' stuff. Respect their space and their homes and things of that nature. And if you have any like serious issues, man, try your best to kind of, to handle it behind closed doors. And don't try to, you should never really call out your homeboy like that unless it's something really, really egregious. But especially don't call out your boy when you know you got skeletons in your closet running deep. You know what I'm saying? So those are the lessons that I took from it, man. I think they're going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? It's very entertaining. That's why we're watching it, man. I appreciate you cats. Kadeem, Smith, and my boy Will, Hartford in the building. We came in, 3 black brothers, different ages and shit. We just had like a civilized discussion, and we're showing that brothers can come together and have an intelligent discussion about a situation. I feel like all of us was objective about it. We didn't put the blame on anybody squarely or anything like that.
You know what sports analyst I really like, even though he was known as a troublemaker and yada yada on the basketball court.
Oh, let me try to guess.
Yo, first of all, I never knew Isaiah Thomas had a master's degree. I never knew that because the media don't talk about that. They only talk about him as a bad boy and the motherfucking troublemaker of the Detroit Pistons. Isaiah Thomas said when he made the decision to go into being a sports analyst and journalism and all that, he said, I will never, ever, ever badmouth another black man in the media. I'll never do that. And he stayed true to that to this day.
Because a lot of them black sports analysts can't say they do that or don't do that. Stephen A. Smith.
The boy Stephen A. Smith.
Shannon Sharp.
Jason Ham Hock Whitlock. That motherfucker shit.
He's the fucking worst.
Yeah, so.
He's the worst one of them all.
We about to wrap this up, man. I'm gonna boot y'all cats out because I want to do like a quick intro because this is a new podcast that I'm starting, but I'm gonna just do an intro like I'm about to bring y'all in and shit like that. And then if something else, more than likely something gonna happen within the next week. So if you cats want to get together and you want to chop it up and talk about what the fuck is going on, like listen, we all have this similar taste in this YouTube. This YouTube shit is the new television. I watch YouTube more than regular TV, bro.
I do too.
Like it's crazy, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I tell people I learned more from YouTube in the last 5 years than I did in 12 years of school.
Damn, that's what's up, yeah. But that's some real shit. Yeah. Because they're not. You know what I'm saying? When you're on YouTube, you're just an individual. You don't have corporations and stuff like that. Especially when you're kind of small, telling you what to say and telling you how to be. So you could just say whatever until you get that $100 million deal like Joe Rogan on Spotify. And if you watch his shit now, you notice that he censors himself a hell of a lot more now. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get these cats. You got to get these cats while they still cheap and why they still don't got the motherfucking corrupted motherfuckers like puppeting them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
This is what pisses me off about our people is that we don't recognize, especially Black Americans, because we're unique. We don't recognize how great we are. I'll give you a prime example. When Bill Cosby came out with the Cosby Show back in the 80s, NBC was on its fucking last leg. They was struggling. They was struggling. It was Bill Cosby that fucking saved that network with the Cosby Show. Flash forward to the 90s, the Fox network. You had Martin Lawrence, you had Living Single, and you had New York Undercover. These three shows all came on Thursday nights, back to back to back. Had millions of motherfucking people tuning in every week to watch this shit. This is how amazing we are as a people. Yeah. We're so creative. We bring the Can you imagine how boring this planet would be without Black folks?
Oh my gosh, man.
This shit was
just watch any one of those black and white, like all white movies where they playing basketball in the that's how that's how the world would be.
Yo, like when I hear people like, yo, Seinfeld, that motherfucker wasn't funny to me. Fucking Seinfeld.
I love the show. I like the show.
Seinfeld is quality.
Will, we comedians.
Seinfeld was funnier than In Living Color?
No, but Seinfeld had his own. Nah, it's not, but well, me and Kadeem, we comedians, so we kind of see it a little bit. We got more of an appreciation for that shit. Or like the Larry David show, that shit is hard.
Was the hood watching Seinfeld?
On the low, niggas was.
You ask any New Yorker, they're gonna tell you Seinfeld.
Let me tell you, no, the hood was watching 90210.
Facts.
Okay.
Hey.
Even though the hood won't admit it, the hood was watching 90210.
Yo, the hood. You know what else too? They was watching Melrose Place because it was had all that sex, all that kissing and creeping and shit. Melrose Place, what? They was watching Melrose Place, bruh.
Nah, we was watching
we was watching Blossom because Six had the big booty.
You know she's from Connecticut, right?
Oh, Six? Oh, really?
She's from Connecticut. Yo, I follow Six on Instagram. That chick,
Jenna Von. Her name is. She married a woman.
Yes.
Jenna Von Joy, the chick that was from the Parkers, the white chick, the Parkers.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, she's from Danbury.
Yes.
Yeah. She got a bubble. See, Kadeem a little bit younger than us. So Kadeem, he a little bit younger than us, so he won't get the Blossom reference. So I had to put it up to 1998 with the Parkers. So now he know about that shit.
Yeah, she was all natural.
Oh my God, booty pics for days on a low.
And married a woman.
Yo, that's a whole nother topic. That's gonna take us down a whole nother path. I ain't trying to go there, man. Listen, I will holler at y'all cats, man. Y'all have a good night. I'm about to kick y'all out, and then I'm about to do this little intro. So I'll holler at y'all, man. Y'all be safe, all right?
All right, peace. We're gonna do this again.
All right, peace. Yes, sir, for sure.